Yeah, because you were talking about how you like tried to
Yeah,
heat up your
yeah.
car.
That was like a few days ago. So yeah, let me tell this story. So where we live, the weather is not super consistent. I mean, it's consistently ridiculous.
That's
Sometimes we can get summers that are like in the 110s. So you might think, "Wow, you live in a hot place, right?" No, in the winter, it's like it can get into the -20s.
that's
It wasn't quite that cold. I think it was definitely sub-zero this day though, um, which I think is grounds to cancel school if the roads are icy. So I wake up at like 6 to go to school because I have to be there by 7, and I shower. So usually I'm leaving the house at like 6:50. Um, so I go outside, and like my car, not only should I be heating it up before I get into it, which I didn't do enough. The wheels are like there have been times where like the wheels are like iced to the ground a bit, so you have to give it gas before it goes. And on this particular day, that was true. And I thought, maybe this is a sign that I should let the thing heat up before I immediately just start pushing the engine.
yeah, probably.
So what I do is I leave the car running and I go back inside. And so for like 15 minutes, I'm thinking like, okay, what do I do now? I think I think it was like a half hour. I'm like, what do I do now? So I take a nap,
Yeah.
right? Because what else am I gonna do in the morning when I'm just trying to do nothing but pass time besides maybe sleep for another half hour? And so I get to school when that period is over, and I go to check in, and usually it's like, hey, I'm here late. They're like, okay, what's your name? And you tell them your name. They're like, all right, good, fine, go to class. This particular day, she's like, hey, the dean wants to see you, and I'm like, okay. And this is a new guy, right?
Oh, fuck.
And he's like the worst. Um, Not a fantastic guy to deal with. Well, that was janky.
That was janky.
And so he's like, "Hey, why are you late?" And I'm like, I told him that story, and he's like, "Oh, you slept? Okay."
That's
I'm like, "No, that's not the point.
unexcused.
That's not the point of the story. That's not why I stayed home. I stayed home because I needed to heat up my car." And it's like, I missed PE too.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like I missed actual class. Is the important part. And he's like, "Okay, you are not excused for this day." And I'm like, okay, fine. It doesn't really matter because that was like the 1 or 2 times that I wasn't excused during that entire year. And what, you need to be unexcused like 5 times before anything happens?
I was unexcused for like almost an entire month.
And like, what happened?
Nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Yeah, school is super inconsistent.
Yeah, it was.
You want to tell some of your stories?
It was. What was it like? I don't even because come in late, like the greeter, you sign in, and then the greeters like go to SAO, but I never went to SAO, and they never called me down for it either.
Yeah.
So it's like I never did that. They never punished me for that. Anytime I was ever late to a class, they called me down once, and I was like, but I was there, and they were like, all right.
Yeah, that's the thing. No matter why you're marked not there, your teachers, one of your teachers throughout the day is gonna be like, "Hey, it says that you're not here," and you just go clear it up and it's fine. And that skips the whole like, "Hey, why weren't you here?" It's because you're like, "No, no, I'm here."
Yeah, and it's uh, what was it? Some people have early release, so they can just leave after 6 hour,
Yeah,
and they have to go out the church doors. But it's super easy to just skip after 6 hour, even
exactly.
if you don't have early release, because you just walk out the church doors.
Hmm.
And so I did that a lot, uh, which I never got punished for either.
No, but school's dumb. I remember when Sun and Moon came out. Um, so like this is during 0 hour. Michael's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go leave to get Sun and Moon. You wanna come with?" And so I call my mom, and I was gonna be like, "Hey, can you tell me I have a doctor's appointment?" And I expected like no. She's like, "Okay." I'm like, "Okay, why? Thank you, but why?"
Yeah.
Um, Regardless, I leave after when is it? Third hour? Third or fourth hour? I leave. I'm like, I have a doctor's appointment, and I come back like 2 hours later with Sun and Moon, and I mean with Moon, and you got to check back in, and they're like, okay, where's your doctor's? I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot it. And they're like, oh, that sucks. It's fine, cause like I did that once, so they just don't care.
Yeah.
It's like you can get away with way too much. There was all the times like sophomore year that Brad and Michael and I would all like miss the first several hours to go get amiibo,
Yeah.
and like only once did I ever encounter any trouble with this. The dean was like, okay, I'm gonna call your mom and confirm your story. By the way, what's your story? And so, I'm like really nervous, and I'm stammering like, it was embarrassing. It's kind of personal, and like he believes me because I sound like a nervous, scared kid.
Yeah.
But like the idea that he got was not that it was because I'm lying. It's that because I'm legitimately embarrassed to tell the story. It also helps that I was in his history class when he was a teacher, and I was like a straight A student.
Yeah.
Because like it's not honors, it's not AP, it's just regular old like it was Western Civ. Did you take Western Civ?
I did not.
It's it's not the easiest class I've ever taken, but it's like top 3 easiest classes.
Yeah.
It's one of those classes where it's not a matter of like do I remember it or not. It's like how quick can I write this stuff down. And it's like because of how fast you're going, you might like sacrifice 5 points.
Yeah.
But that's going down from a 100 to a 95.
That's
one of those classes where people are like, how's he finishing so fast? And people are like failing basic Western Civ.
Yeah, and even if you get a 95, like if you get more than a 95, they just put it in as a 95.
Yeah.
Which was
Well, they started doing that like junior year, didn't they?
yeah,
That was dumb.
it was dumb.
What was the whole point of their like 4-point grading scale?
The whole point. I remember having a meeting about it. They were saying that it was so that people didn't chase points because they were like it should be about learning and not chasing points. But this whole system gave people a way to chase points.
Exactly. It was all about chasing points.
Yeah, it was like I get like the kind of concept behind it because it's like if you don't get something, then you should still learn it even if you fail the test.
Yeah.
But it's like all it did was just give people a way to get their way through a class,
Yeah.
which was not conducive to learning. People learned less. I remember nothing from calculus, and I have to learn all of that over again for college.
Yeah. Like, there's a reason that, like, when I signed up for classes, I didn't push to take, like, the next level of math from what I learned. Like, because I took algebra 2, which is trig also, and geometry. Did I do that? Oh, and pre-calc. So someone might say, like, oh, you're moving on to calc. And next I'm like, no, I'm doing college level algebra and trigonometry again. But, like, yeah, I'm not taking calc immediately when I get to college because I don't have any faith in what I've learned because of like the teaching style. And I had an especially rough time in algebra 2 trig because of just how the class was taught.